Hey everyone, how are you doing today? I'm Carol Hickman with Chickstamper, and today is June 18th of 2021. So, gosh, almost halfway through the year, you guys. This is pretty unbelievable. I appreciate you watching today so much. I appreciate if you're watching the replay. So thank you for finding me and taking a peek. I hope you enjoyed today's cards. We're going to be using, hey Francis, we're going to be using the Bloom Where You're Planted Suite, which is the Plentiful Plants bundle with paper and all sorts of things. So if you have your current annual catalog, it's on page 80 and 81 is the suite we're going to be using today. So thanks again. Hi, Jackie. I appreciate you guys joining in. So I wanted to just talk for a couple minutes before I start stamping today. So a couple things. Next Thursday, hey Lisa, hey bestie. Next Thursday is my first, that was totally wrong, is in-person card class. So if you live in the Phoenix area, I would love for you to come by. So today's email that will go out later today will have all of the info and the link to register if you're in the area. And you can also find it on the Facebook groups, the link for that. But what I'm really excited about, the first, starting in July, is I'm bringing my Stampin' Besties Club that I do with my besties, Lisa and Hetty, to an in-person class in addition to our online class that we all do together on Zoom. So it's a card club. You make 6 cards. And again, if you're in the Phoenix area, we're going to be doing that in person on the second Friday of each month. So we start with July, and our July cards, I just have a couple to show you. You'll make 6 cards, but, and this is the exact same cards that my online group makes as well. So if you're in the US, I'd love for you to join our besties group, and I put the link in the description of this video. But here's one of our 6 cards we're going to be making. Isn't that cute? This uses one of the Christmas suites that is in the annual catalog. And here's another one. It says Noel, the pretty star and gold foil. And then the last one I'm going to show you today is a gift card holder. So it opens up to hold a gift card. And so if you're in the area, when you sign up, there's 3 different options, and you can join through PayPal with the monthly online club, and you can join the in-person club or porch pickup. You don't have to come to in-person class, so you can do a porch pickup. You always get a PDF. If you want to join our monthly Zoom, you're welcome to do that as well. So I'm so excited because now that we're starting to get back together to meet, we can get together for club as well. So lots of fun things. Let's take a peek at my notes here. June 30th, June 30th. That's the Wednesday, last Wednesday of the month. So I'll be back at 6 p.m. Arizona time, 9 p.m. Eastern with my paper pumpkin alternatives, which I think they're sitting out in my mailbox. I got a delivery today, so I'm pretty sure that that's my paper pumpkin boxes, and I'm excited to play with it, and we'll see what I come up with. I always do a scrapbook page and then a small 3D item to share with you on that last Wednesday of the month. So mark that down. Hey, Margaret. Thanks for sharing, hon. I appreciate it. And then my next Facebook Friday, like today, mini class, will be in 2 weeks. So that is July 2nd, right at the beginning of the 4th of July holiday. So that is all my housekeeping stuff for today. So let's have fun. Let me just show you really quick our cards. We are, again, using the Bloom Where You're Planted suite. And our first card uses just adorable, these dies. I love them. Now, you guys know, I love when the dies cut out the designer paper. And that's what I did here. So that pot and the leaves are all designer paper. And then the same thing on our second card we're going to make. So this pot here and the leaves are designer paper. The dies are included in the bundle. You got to get them both. It's awesome. So I wanted to use that lattice as well. Hey, Linda. So we're going to make those cards today. So I'm going to put the camera down and we'll take a peek at this beautiful DSP, the designer paper. Hang on just a sec. Oh, yes, Lisa, you've got to get it, hon. You will love it. All right. Let me bring you up on my laptop so I can kind of see if we're straight and how we're doing. Well, that was a little, well, that's not too bad. Let's see. Let's try and get you a little bit in here. Okay, so take a peek. Isn't this paper fun? Now, there are pages. You can see here all these different pots, and there are dies to cut those out. Let's see if I have bigger pieces. So here is the stamp set, Plentiful Plants, and then Perfect Plants are the dies. And there are 14 dies in here. And see how there's all these different leaves? So I used those on the designer paper where they coordinated. You can use all 3 of these pot outline dies. We'll cut out pots on the designer paper, as well as these 2 leaf dies. And then here's that cute hanger that I used as well. So it reminds me, obviously, right, of macrame hangers from the 70s. So I think those are kind of coming back now. Pretty cool. Would be beautiful on your sun porch if you live in Florida or somewhere where you have a sun porch. Now, you guys know I live in Phoenix. Yesterday, did you hear it was 118 yesterday in Phoenix? So we're definitely in the middle of a warm spell, and just very blessed for AC and a pool. And one of our friends on here, Miss Diane, she sometimes watches these videos. She yesterday posted that her AC broke, and I felt so bad for her. So I hope all of you are finding a way to stay cool, because I know this heat wave is throughout the country and moving eastward to a lot of you guys. So stay cool. So which of these designer papers is your favorite? Remember, when they're snug up against each other, that's just the paper flipped. Aren't they fun? This is the sheet that has the place where the dies will fit. Anyway, it's gorgeous. These are the colors that are in the designer paper. So we've got Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider, Evening Evergreen, Garden Green, Gray Granite, Just Jade, and then, of course, Basic White. So we're going to use those today. And let's take a peek. Okay. So let's make this card first, because it's just so cute. Both of these cards today are very similar and very basic, you guys. Quick and easy, simple cards, but just fun. I think they're fun and they're really cute. Remember, all of the measurements for both cards will be on my blog later this afternoon at chickstamper.com. So you'll be able to print out I've got a free tutorial on there for you as well. So you can print that out. You'll have tutorials for the cards that include the measurements, okay? So this one, we're gonna start with a garden green card base. And we'll just use our bone folder here to burnish this score line. So I've scored it at 4 1/4. So it's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And then I've scored it at 4 1/4. So now we've got our card base. So our designer paper I chose, again from the same pack of Bloom Where You're Planted, is this cute, I wanted it to look kind of like a fence or paneling. So that's what I chose for this one. And then the saying says, "You were there and I am very grateful." Both of these cards have a grateful and thanks theme, which I don't feel like you can ever have enough of those kinds of cards, right? So I'm just going to stamp down towards the bottom with my garden green ink. And now I can go ahead and put it onto my Cajun Craze because I've stamped on it. I like it. I'm okay with it. So we'll just get it on here. There we go. So we've got that part. Now I've taken my dies already and I have cut out the pieces that I want to use for this hanging plant. So let me show you what I've got. So again, the dies come into play here, right? So here is the die that I cut out from the paper for the pot. And then one of the sheets of designer paper has different leaves, so I use this die to cut out this leaf. And then I love this one. So this is that die to, of course, cut out the hanger for them all. Isn't that really cute? Now my sister used to make macrame hangers like this, so I think that's why I love it so much. Okay, so we're just gonna put all this together, and I'm going to just put a little glue dot right here on the base of this die cut here for these leaves, just right here on the bottom. It doesn't have to be fancy, but that way it will cover up from my pot and hide behind and hold everything there. Okay, so now we want to get this plant hanger onto the pot. Now, had I thought about it, I could have used our adhesive sheets, right? Because remember when I run those through the die cutting machine where I already have the adhesive on the back, then I can just peel it. I didn't, so I'm going to use something I hardly ever use because I'm kind of messy at it, but we're going to get out our liquid glue. And I don't need too much, so that's the nice thing. It's not going to take a lot of wear and tear. So I'm just going to put a little bit kind of in these bigger areas. Not too much, but just enough. It's just paper, so it doesn't take very much to hold it. Thank goodness, because then I'd get very messy. And then I'm just simply lining it up right over that pot so that it's all hooked together as one piece. Alrighty, so then let's get some dimensionals on this. And we don't need too many, but I'll get a couple minis as well to hold these smaller leaves down. Okay, so what I thought we would use, have you seen this new pack? It's called the Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and it has 5 different colors of twine. So it has white and black and vanilla, but then it has gray granite, and this is a crumb cake type color. I don't think it lists the colors on here, but I'm just going to take about 4 inches or so. And I'm using what I would call the crumb cake color. Oops, let's do this. Let's double it up. That'll make it look cuter. So I've just looped it, and I'm going to put the loop through the front to the back, and then hold these, pull the little ends through. So now I have a nice hanger. So what I want is I want to be able to put the hanging part over the back. So let's stick it down, and then we'll be able to do that, and we'll be able to put it down onto our card base. So I think the reason I really like these different potted plants is because you can kind of play with them. It's kind of like paper dolls. You can pick and choose which base you want, which plant. So for me, I think I'm just going to cut out a whole bunch of different pots and different plants from the designer paper, and then I can just kind of play and make different ones that I want. There we go. So when I get the adhesive on the back side here, it's going to help hold that twine down. Okay, so I've got my adhesive on here. So now I can just simply put it over the top, and it will hold it and make it look like it's hanging. And then we're just ready to go onto our card base. Pretty simple. Alrighty, pretty cute, huh? So it needs a little something. So I thought it would be fun. We could use the In Color Square Gems. So these are the 2020 to 2022 In Color Gems. These are the colors that started last year and just have one more year with us. But these gems are just too fun. So let's use, what I did is I just took one of the small ones. And again, these types of hangers, to me, from the 70s, would have beads on them, right? So I'm just gonna put one right here to make it look like it's got a bead. Because that's how my sissy would have made it. And then I'll just use a couple down here on the bottom, but I wanna make them look like diamonds just to kind of add a little pizzazz to my card. There we go. Okay, so now we can stamp the envelope and the inside of the card. But we've got our outside done, isn't it cute? Let's stamp that same pot. Here's our inside piece. The same pot and then the same leaves that we used, and we'll do the same thing on our envelope. So this stamp is a distinctive stamp. So can you see it makes it look like there's a shadow on the pot? Isn't that cool? I love that. Does all the work for me with one inking and one stamped time there. Then I'm gonna use, that was Cajun Crazy ink, so I'm gonna go back to my Garden Green ink, and I've got my plant. How cute is that? Easy peasy when all the work's done for you. Love it. Okay, so we'll just put this inside. So look how it matches, isn't that cute? Now, I could have, to make this, if I were going to make a whole lot of this card, I would do this exact stamped image separately and cut out the flower pot and stamp the leaves separately on basic white paper and cut them out separately, and then attach them the same way. But heck, I've got it in that designer paper. I'm gonna use it. Don't you think? Pretty cute. I'm just gonna close up these ink pads here. Okay, so card number 1 is done. I love it. And I hope you do too. All right, let's take a peek and see if there's any. Oh, hey, Pat. Yes, Pat, you have to get it. Hey, Carrie. I know that paper's just gorgeous, isn't it? Love it. Thanks, Cindy, for sharing. I appreciate that. So here's our second card today, you guys. Isn't it adorable? A lot of this card is very similar to the first card. So when you print off your free tutorial, the designer paper and the back layer are the same sizes. So that will help you when you're designing. There's so many different things you can do when you just trim your paper to those dimensions. And then of course, I wanted to use some of this cool paper lattice. It's part of the suite. And so if you buy the suite as a whole, the lattice will come with it. Isn't it fun? And you can see that I just trimmed off a little piece for this. So let me show you how I made this one. We're gonna use a Just Jade card base for this one. But again, we've got the same dimensions for our designer paper and our backing piece. And this backing is gray granite. Here's the brick. I think, is that what Carrie was talking about? I think she likes the brick paper. Sorry, Carrie, I'm covering it up, but it is gorgeous. But I wanted to get this kind of tropical, right? Maybe I'm still in my Hawaii mode, but isn't this just fun and like jungle-y? That's how I feel. All right, so then this strip of gray granite, we're going to stamp on. And we're going to use our Just Jade ink. And this saying says, a little note with the biggest thanks. So again, I'm going to get this down towards the bottom. There we go. And then it's ready to actually attach to our card, or to this card front that isn't quite attached to our card base yet. So I want to make sure it's directional. So yes, I'm happy that this is the bottom. I feel like the way that the leaves are laying. And then I'm just going to attach this piece of gray granite. And I want some of the green designer paper to show on the right side. So I'll leave it, but this, no, not exact. It's really whatever you like, however far. Okay, so now we've got this cute paper lattice. And you could put the whole piece on a card. That would be great too. But for this card, I just wanted a little bit. Let me just see if I can sneak one out of the package here. There we go. You get 10 in the package, so you have a lot of creating you can do there. All right, so I'm gonna snip. So you can see on here that I measured just 3, we'll call them 3 columns. So if I snip here, then I'm going to do that same thing, because it is just paper. It's kind of a heavy paper, kind of like the heavy craft paper we've had in the past, so you'll feel it when you snip through. But I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. And I know that I want 3 columns. That's the width that I want. And this other piece I'm saving because I might find a card down the road to use it for. Who knows? Okay, now I'm just going to measure. I'm going to take off this piece up here, this cross piece. Okay, so now I basically am telling myself that I can stop right here, right? So I'm just going to trim off after that one. Just doing the same thing. There we go. Right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and use my trusty liquid glue that isn't so trusty for me, but I know a lot of you guys love it. And again, you don't need much. It's not going to take wear and tear, and we just want it to hold itself down. So I'm just going on all of these solid circles. And, oops, I'm going to go up this way. And hold it down. And then I'll save these pieces. I'm not sure if I'll ever get to using them, but you never know. All right, so now this piece is ready to go onto our card base, which is Just Jade. And so we'll get some adhesive there. What do you guys think? Have you used the paper lattice yet? And have you liked it? I just basically wanted to show you that you can use it and you don't even have to use a whole piece of it. You can just use it a little bit at a time. All right, now we're going to build this little this little guy here, and again, I've already cut them out with my dies, coordinating dies onto that gorgeous paper, designer paper, but I've used 2 of these cutouts of the Just Jade leaves. They're a little smaller than that first one, this shape, so I just felt like I needed 2. So let me get my glue dots, and I'll just put one on this side, and one on this side, and we'll kind of move them a little bit so they look a little different. All right, same as before, we're gonna put some dimensionals. Because we want it to pop up off the card and join the party. I think we'll switch to our little ones now. Okay, let's peel all these. So do you see why I was suggesting that you just take a little bit of time and cut out all of the flower pots and all of the leaf designs and things that you can, and just put them in a little container or a little plastic sleeve? That way, when you want to sit to create, you can just hook some together that you like and put them on your card. So then I'm just gonna put them down here. There's no right or wrong, wherever you'd like. But I thought it would be fun to get some more of these square gems on our cards. And so this time we're gonna use the Just Jade color. So we're gonna do it in a diamond shape again. So we're gonna turn them on their sides from the square shape that they come in. And then we're just gonna decorate the pot. I thought this would be kind of cool. Just looks like little medallions that are on the flower pot. So remember that everybody who purchases $35 or more from my online store between now and Monday night, you're gonna get these card kits shipped to you next week. So you'll get all the pieces, and you'll get everything cut out, the flowers, or the flower pots, I should say, and the leaves cut out, the plants, ready to go. And then you'll be able to put your cards together, and you can use whatever stamps you have at home to finish off your sentiments. But if you're ordering, you might want to order the bundle, right? Actually, I would order the suite, because then you get the paper lattice, which I'll put it in your kits, but then you can recreate. And let me just tell you, the suite is only $65, you guys. So you're gonna get the stamps, the dies, the full pack of 12 by 12 paper, and a pack of the paper lattice for $65. So that gives you a 10% savings on the bundle. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we are gonna do the same thing. We're gonna stamp our envelope and our inside piece. So I'm using gray granite ink for the flower pot and Just Jade ink for the leaves, so that it will coordinate with our card front. Here we go. And then we've got Just Jade. And I'm going to do the same thing like I did with the paper. So I'm going to stamp it twice. There we go. So cute. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like this suite, but I gotta tell you, I really am loving it, because you can do so much variables by just changing out what type of plant you have. And I really like the different sentiments that come with the stamp set. I'll show you those in a minute. A little note with the biggest thanks. Isn't that cute? Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so for those of you who are planning to order this week or have already ordered this week or planning to order between now and Monday, here is the little treat that I'll be sending with your class kit. Isn't it cute? So it's a sprout pencil. I thought it was kind of appropriate with the cards since they're plant cards. So you can use this pencil and then you plant it afterwards for, this one is basil. So then basil will grow. And then of course I used everything that we used today in the suite to decorate it. And it says, "You touched my heart." So that's another one of those cute sentiments. So let's look at the stamp set again. A little note with the biggest thanks. So we used that one and we used this one. "You were there and I am very grateful. Thank you to a dear friend. Love you and you touched my heart and so very much." These sentiments are amazing, you guys. I love them. And you get these cute stamps. So it's a great bundle. It's a great suite. I hope if you don't already have it, you add it to your list. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I know those gems just are so fun, right? They add a lot. They're easy to use. And I just love how they work and how they look totally different when they're on their side to be a diamond. Okay, you guys, let me put the camera back up. Okay. Yay, I'm so glad. Hi, Carol. I'm glad that you guys are watching today, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. Remember, go to my blog this afternoon. Give me a little bit of time to get the video uploaded, Chickstamper.com, and you'll be able to print off the free PDF. So you'll be able to have the tutorial, the measurements, everything that you need. If you have any questions, as always, please, please, please send me a message on Facebook, email me at carol@chickstamper.com, and ask away if you have any questions. If you have questions about my card club, so I've done it with my besties, Hetty and Lisa, and so we do an online version where we get together once a month on a Zoom and we all stamp together. It's lots of fun, and people, Hetty's in Canada, Lisa's on the East Coast, so we have people from everywhere. It's a lot of fun. But I also have porch pickup, and I have now, starting in July, in-person card clubs. So it's the same 6 cards, but you'll have just a blast. And darn it, I didn't bring my bracelet in here, but our gift each month is a charm. So we give you a charm bracelet on the first month that you subscribe, and then you get a new charm each month that coordinates with what we're stamping that month. So it's tons of fun. And after 6 months, you get a free package of goodies. So for each 6 months that you are involved. So consider that. Let me know if you have any questions, you guys. I appreciate you watching today. Hey, Nancy. And take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Father's Day to those guys in your life. And enjoy. I will be back on the 30th for Paper Pumpkin, you guys. Take care. Love you lots. Bye-bye.